Welcome to the Happiness Alchemy podcast for magical women craving business, life, and spiritual growth. Stay with me to expand and empower yourself to live a life you love. Episode 19, Ascension Awareness Guidance for the week of March 12th. So this week, things are shifting up quite a bit for me for my weekly forecast posts that I've been doing for maybe a couple of years now. Things are shifting a little bit as I've been working with a collective of guides called the Ascension Awareness Collective. And they want to bring through some guidance that applies for the week ahead as a forecast, but also applies anytime you feel called to go back and read a previous post from a previous week. The guidance and the information given still applies. So these are much more sustainable forecasts because you can go back to them and they're going to apply to you anytime you feel called to learn more about it. So I'm not going to talk too much about the Ascension Awareness Collective right now. I will save that for another podcast. But just to give you a little bit of an understanding about why this week things are shifted and going forward why they will be shifted as well. So there's not going to be cards to choose from any longer. But what I do encourage you to do is tune into your own intuition as you listen to this podcast and pay attention to when you feel your heart light up, when you feel those butterflies in your belly, when you recognize something that I'm saying that I'm talking about as truth for you, because that is really the part for you to pay attention to this week. So in focus this week are the third eye and heart chakras. We're really being encouraged to look within to find the answers, to allow our hearts to attune to the vibration of peace and expansion, and with that, really allow a clear vision of what is possible for us to form. This is a really, really, really beautiful energy that when we are turned away from it, we are going to feel a lot of resistance and kind of stickiness and like, why do I not feel quite right? And then whenever we turn towards it and allow ourselves to tune into our heart, it's going to light you up like you can only imagine, right? So when we're experiencing this resistance and discomfort, whenever you're feeling that resistance and discomfort, and especially if you're feeling it right now in this week, really pay attention to the areas that are calling for your healing. We're consistently and quickly, as you're consistently and quickly paying attention to what is calling your attention. So when you're feeling off on something, when you're feeling this feeling of resistance, and breathe into your body and just tell your body, show me what it feels like to feel resistance. And you're going to feel it right away. It's usually kind of a contracted feeling. I get a visual of like some type of like kind of little goblin or something like that. Kind of grabbing onto my energy. So whenever you feel that resistance, pay attention quickly. Don't ignore it. The faster you pay attention to it and take action to course correct, so take action to tune into what you need to adjust that, the faster you're going to move through that resistance. We don't need to stay in this place of resistance for long periods of time anymore. It's just not required of us. Sometimes I found in 2017 that staying in the resistance a little bit longer had a little bit of a benefit and a teaching benefit, but as we're moving into 2018, we want to be moving through these resistance areas a little bit quicker. So we're really raising ourselves up to new personal standards. So what I mean by personal standards is how good it can get and how good we can feel mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and physically, okay? So that's what these pockets of resistance are. They're calling and pulling us in order for us to pay attention and heal. So as we're raising our personal standards of how good we deserve to feel, the resistance is going to start to drop off. So what you're doing on this ascension journey, is first you are going through these pockets of resistance. That's completely normal, and that is needed in order for you to pay attention and heal. Because if we're not feeling uncomfortable, if we're not feeling resistance, chances are we're going to keep floating along. We're not going to step into our potential. We're not going to continue to ascend and raise our vibration if things are just, okay. Sometimes the universe makes it fairly uncomfortable so that we pay attention there and so that we develop the things we need to develop for the next leg of our journey. So as you're moving through that and as you're getting a certain level of mastery with that, so you're really paying attention to the resistance, you're moving through it, what's going to start to happen is instead of being pushed by the universe, we are moving into a time and a place where we're in a state of allowing ourselves to be magnetized and pulled by the desires. So instead of being pushed by the universe, we're actually being pulled by our inspiration. So this is called a state of alignment. So this is where you're propelled forward by inspiration and motivation. It's coming from that inner knowing, that feeling, and that vision from within you. Within you is the key. So you'll fall in and out of alignment. So it's a lot like a baby learning to walk. The key is not to allow the times that you're down on your ass to convince you that you are not meant to walk, right? And that's the big key that I really want to get through this week. The more you allow yourself to tune into your heart, and tuning into your heart is so simple. You can have your hand over your heart and just breathe and visualize and focus energy going into your heart. That's all you have to do. The more you're tuning into that, the more you're going to notice the feeling and really be in alignment with what your heart is trying to tell you. So the more you're tuning in with your energy and your body, the more you're going to feel when you hit a piece of resistance, almost like a patch of ice, right? So ultimately, what you're moving to and where you may likely be at right now is that you're going to see the resistance. You're going to be like, hey, I see that there. I'm going to allow myself to feel it fully. I'm going to heal it, and I'm going to move through it. So in that case, whenever you're being super mindful and aware like that, it's much more of a wobble than falling down, full out on your butt, right? So the thing about wobbles is whenever you're thinking about wobbles, they make you use different legs in your muscles, right? They help you develop your muscles for your own spiritual growth, for your own personal development, for your own achievement of the things of your goals and your desires, right? So wobbles actually help you develop your muscle and your vision if you don't succumb to the drama seemingly surrounding you. So with these wobbles, again, those emotions of fears and doubts and everything come in. So as long as you don't succumb to that and fall into this spiral trap of depression that they're pulling down on you, and you continue to remember that you are divinely connected, then a wobble is only going to strengthen you. And sometimes you can wobble for quite a while and then still come back out of it. So whenever we fall or we wobble or whatever, different emotions from like fear, doubt, feeling like a failure, feeling like we're on the wrong path, feeling abandoned by the divine, all of that stuff is felt. It's very normal to feel. So that's purely an illusion. And the less we pay attention and get sucked into the drama that we are created in our own ego, this poor me, that whole situation, this wounded child thing, the quicker we're going to get back up. So some of you have been down far too long, and it is time to rise again. Many of you are already on the rise, and get ready to experience miracles. They're right there. They're right there. They're right there. They may even be there for you today. So get ready to experience miracles as you are continuing to rise up. So with all the guidance given here, here's the take on how to best utilize the energy that you're walking in for this week. Or if you're tuning in another time, this still applies. Okay, so I got 4 pieces of guidance here. Number 1, do not lose heart. Do not lose your connection to your heart when you fall or when you wobble. It is more than ever that you need this connection to yourself, to unconditional love, in order to get back up and to rise. So keep that connection to your heart as a big priority. Number 2, do not allow drama unfolding in the world around you or even in your immediate life to distract you from who you really are and the fact that you have an ever-present divine connection and support. Notice whenever you are judging yourself or others. Ask, how am I not accepting myself? Where do I feel off or out of alignment? So really taking it back to yourself, okay? Not letting yourself get sucked into this drama, and instead taking it back. How do I feel? Tuning within. Number 3, let your imagination soar. So there's this one quote from Aaron Hansen. It really sums it up nicely. So you really get to decide where you want to put your focus and what you want to attract and feel. Because of course, where our focus is, where our attention is where energy is flowing to. And that's what we're attracting more of. So her quote is, there is freedom waiting for you on the breezes of the sky. And you ask, what if I fall? Oh, but darling, what if you fly? I love that quote so much. It really, really sums up the energy this week. Allowing yourself to get into that imaginative vision state and say, what is possible for me? Because I can actually move towards it. I have the capability. I have everything I need within me to move towards it. All right, piece of guidance number 4. Be willing to ask yourself, who am I? What do I believe? And really go there. Go into the shadows, heal aspects of yourself that are based in fear and old programs. So things that you're just doing out of habit. Let yourself feel the grief, feel the sadness, feel the frustration, feel all of the things that you're holding in, maybe one at a time so that it's not super overwhelming, but really allow yourself to feel that because it's natural to feel it and it's good to feel it. Whenever you allow yourself to feel it, you can then really let it go instead of just pushing it down. So you're letting it go in complete trust that it's going to be replaced with the truth of who you are. And you're really going to be astounded at the brilliance that you're carrying within you. And you're going to continue to be astounded and astounded and astounded every step of the process as you allow your heart to be open and really tune into your ability to fly instead of to fall, because it is possible. All right, so that is the forecast for the week. Have a magical week. Thanks so much for joining me. Thanks for listening to the Happiness Alchemy podcast. If you know someone who would resonate with this message, please share this episode with them. Sending so much gratitude. Have an amazing day.